How would you like to be driving a brand new Honda CR-V? Well, just by signing up for RevVoice, you'll be automatically entered to win. The Honda CR-V is one of the highest rated cars in its class, an unbeatable value for safety, comfort, and style. It's got plenty of storage for everything you need to carry, and looks great inside and out. So, upgrade your home phone today, and you just might upgrade your life with a brand new Honda CR-V from Nassau Motor Company, worth more than $42,000. Call us to sign up for RevVoice before January 26th. RevVoice, the better choice.
Members of Save Our Bahamas outraged after several of their signs were vandalized.
And it also says clearly to the Bahamian people that this is an indication that we need to come out in strong numbers on Monday.
The Prime Minister says the government would decide in the event of a minority vote.
People have elected not to vote on the matter, then it's an inconsequential sort of result.
Police investigating another murder in the capital, plus teachers say yes to education.
We cannot afford to fall short of this goal.
I'm Nikia DeVoe, and this is NV12 Weekend. Good evening, Bahamas. Thanks for joining us this Saturday evening for NB12's Weekend Edition. The destruction of referendum campaign signs moved Save Our Bahamas campaign coordinators to speak out in anger and disappointment this morning. Celeste Nixon has more in this report.
With less than 48 hours until the highly anticipated gaming referendum, Vote No coordinators said they're shocked and disappointed that numerous Vote No signs throughout New Providence have been deliberately vandalized. Pastor Mario Moxie said the deliberate destruction of the Vote No signs are an act of desperation and example of the lawlessness that has been allowed to develop.
What it means to us is that our opponents are extremely desperate. We feel as though this is just another example of the mockery of democracy we have going on in this country, and just a snippet of the lawlessness that has been prevailing in this nation from this whole thing began. There's one sign over on the other side that has been stabbed to death. They took a stake and drove it through the heart of that sign. It's an indication of what they're attempting to do to the soul of this nation, and that we cannot stand for.
Moxie said a number of posters have been either defaced or torn down in strategic locations, including signs on Village Road, Sir Myler Butler Highway, and in the Montague area. Public Relations Coordinator Kevin Harris said the acts of vandalism are a reflection of what's associated with the gambling industry. He said voting no on Monday would make a statement that these illegal actions will not be tolerated.
And it also says clearly to the Bahamian people that this is an indication that we need to come out in strong numbers on Monday and really make a bold statement that we will not tolerate what we believe really is an indication of the industry that we are speaking to. And I believe that on Monday we have a chance to put the order back in law in order. And I believe that if we get to the polls early and in large numbers as Bahamians, we can finally restore law and order in our country in this regard.
Harris said these acts are sending a negative message to the world and do not accurately represent the Bahamian people. Co-chair of Save Our Bahamas, Pastor Lyle Bethel, said he is disappointed by much of the reaction to the referendum.
We're disappointed with what we've seen, not just today, but the whole mobocracy that seems to be going on.
Bethel said Bahamians need to move away from luck and chance and back towards hard work. Members are appealing to like-minded voters to come out to the polls on Monday and make their voices heard. Reporting for NB12, I'm Celeste Nixon.
When contacted by NB12 today, members of the Vote Yes campaign said none of their people had anything to do with any vandalism and said some of their posters had also been defaced and torn down. Well, the vandalism did not stop Save Our Bahamas from holding its many events today. Scores of supporters joined the Vote No motorcade this afternoon as cars, buses, trucks, and even motorcycles full of cheering, singing, and dancing Bahamians paraded through the streets.
You all have to recognize no is the way to go in the Bahamas.
There was also the Harvest Anti-Gambling live television event today at 5. Vote No will continue its campaign with a march and mass rally tomorrow at Arawak Key, beginning at 4 p.m. from Rawson Square.
Our preparations are going very well. We're very confident concerning the referendum on Monday. We know that our opponents are extremely desperate and they would perhaps try anything at this stage. The Bahamian people have already made up their minds, and we are confident that there will be a no vote. No vote.
You can see highlights from those events on tomorrow night's newscast. Well, Vote Yes Bahamas campaigners were also out in full force today. People clad in Vote Yes t-shirts were at busy street intersections handing out flyers and t-shirts. There was also a Vote Yes motorcade that snaked through the streets of New Providence. Vote Yes will hold its final mass rally tonight at Clifford Park. You can catch that event here on Cable 12 right after news. Well, Prime Minister Perry Christie expressing concern that low voter turnout at this week's advance poll could be an indication of the turnout for Monday's gambling referendum. Christie said if the outcome of the controversial referendum is determined by a minority vote, the government would ultimately decide how to proceed.
If the referendum results speak to a minority people voting, then obviously the government has fulfilled its obligation, but it does not. It has to recognize that it was a minority who voted, and therefore it will have to consider actions moving forward. So those are matters that I most certainly have had under contemplation as to how do we proceed in doing that. But at the end of the day, if you find people have elected not to vote on the matter, then it's an inconsequential sort of result.
According to Acting Parliamentary Commissioner Sherlyn Hall, less than 50% of the people who registered voted in Monday's advanced poll. That's only 2,702 of the 6,519 Bahamians registered. Prime Minister Christie said if too few people come out to vote, the government of the Bahamas will do whatever it thinks is right at the time. Well, Anglican Bishop the Right Reverend Leish Boyd is urging Bahamians to vote in Monday's referendum, stating it is not important to focus on how people will vote. This week, former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram criticized Boyd, saying he has not been as vocal as he was in 2010 when the Free National Movement administration was considering legalizing numbers. Bishop Boyd did not respond to Ingram, but simply outlined the Anglican Church's position on the issue. He said that while the Anglican Church opposes gambling, he would not tell Bahamians how to vote. In a statement released yesterday, the Anglican bishop said that some people have concluded that they will stay out of the voting process, but he said that is the wrong way to go about it, and voting in an election or referendum is a privilege that Bahamians should take advantage of.